Some people are wondering what's going to happen now that Trump has been elected into office. Some people say that, you know, it's just it's a selection, that everyone is selected. There's a guy on YouTube named Greg Manarino. He talks about a lot of financial stuff. He has a website called traderschoice.net, and he thinks that it doesn't matter who the president is, really, that they're all selected, and that's pretty much the way it's always been. I don't know if he said that's the way it's always been exclusively or not, but that's an interesting idea. It kind of reminds me, on a side note, of, you know, people who talk about the Super Bowl being rigged. And yeah, I suppose it could be. I mean, you're talking about millions and millions. Are we into billions of fiat dollars for this stuff? So, regardless of who is in office, you know, it makes me wonder about, well, it doesn't make me wonder, I've always wondered about the Q stuff. Yeah, Q, who started posting, I think it was on the website 4chan. Poll is short for the 4chan subforum called Politically Incorrect. And they talk a lot about politics there and all kinds of stuff. It's not a family-friendly place to go to, but anyway, so Q started posting on that and then moved to posting allegedly, I think, on the board when 4chan got compromised. I was looking at that stuff. I was following that stuff at that time back in 2017, I think. Really interesting. So whether you think Q stuff was just a big psyop in a negative sense, or whether you think it was a psyop in a good sense, it caused a lot of people to look into a lot of crazy stuff. I think looking into things for yourself and actually researching things rather than taking what the mainstream media says to be true. Can you see my nose hairs? Should we get closer? Can you see anything in there? It was wild that the Amish came out and voted in this last election, or as Manarino would say, selection, whatever. But the Amish came out. So the Amish, non-electrified people, no electric guitars, allegedly. You'd think by this point, I would think that they would be, man, this snow is about at the top of my gaiters. Look at that. Going and just, wow. You know, they don't listen to music, but they have to hear it when they go to different places. Hearing pop music, you'd think the Amish would get mad enough that they would eventually go ahead and get go all buy Jackson guitars. Yeah, you gotta get Jackson guitars with, do they have DiMarzio pickups? Can you get some Jacksons with DiMarzios? And like my Charvel, I have DiMarzios on there. Oh, they're hot. They're hot and sexy. Unlike this right now, which is cold and crappy. Well, yeah, you'd think the Amish would start up a rockin' 80s metal style band. You know, good, wholesome lead melodies, good distortion, cool compression and gating and reverb on the snare drum. The way things are meant to be. What about Elon? Huh? What about Elon's mom? No, I haven't dated her. I'm not interested. Especially after seeing, you know, short hair on chicks is just not cool. Never been a fan of short hair on chicks. I just watched a bunch of snow dump out of this tree. I hope it doesn't dump on me as I'm strutting underneath here yakking. Okay, so Elon Musk's mom has been a model, short-haired kind of model for, I don't know, 50 years or something. But I've seen pictures of her and this one-eyed symbolism stuff. Yeah, that's weird. Anytime someone does you know, a celebrity, someone on magazine covers is doing this one-eyed symbolism stuff. Makes me think right away. Well, what do you think? You think occult stuff right away? You start going into, you know, these elusive Aryan worshiping people, you know? I had a former coworker tell me not everything's a conspiracy. It is. It's all, we're lied to about everything. We're lied because it's an agenda. This is good versus evil here. This is the way it is. It is. It's part of an agenda, and yeah, it's a conspiracy. It is. Come on, we're lied to about, you know, people don't think that the weird creatures exist. They call them cryptids or whatever. People have seen them. People have had physical interactions with them. Are these people morons? Are they idiots? Are they all liars? Are they all on shrooms? Hallucinating majorly? Why do I turn into the snow when I'm walking? No, they're not. Some of them might be, but not all of them. And I even doubt that. I think the extremely small minority might be under the influence of something. But, so in other words, we're lied to about that. It's all an agenda. It's all evil filth. Big surprise. When I was younger, I didn't understand that you're supposed to layer your gloves. I know that now, and I do that now. But just like you layer clothes, you're supposed to put on, you know, thin under layers, thin under gloves, and then you put heavier gloves on top, and then you can put on a waterproof over glove. I don't have waterproof ones on me right now because I'm just out here exploring. Even my layered gloves, my fingers are starting to get a little cold. I have tender guitar player hands.